Okay, so hi guys. So for anyone that, this is part 2 of the second series of presentations. For anyone that doesn't know me, my name is Mikey, and I like to have some fun during my presentations. Ask me a question if you have any. But really quick, since we don't have too much time, let's go to this picture of a pig. Now what does a pig represent to you guys? To me, there's two things I think about. I think about food, right? Pork chops, bacon.
It's here.
Well, it comes from here on a pig, right? But the second thing I think about is they're dirty, right? So this actually goes, because they roll around in their waste, they sleep on each other, stuff like this. Well, this actually goes this is actually related to something in the WTO, in international trade, which is the SPS measures, which I'm about to explain. Now, most of you are probably like, huh? SPS? What is this, right? Well, SPS measures, let's go really quickly what it means. SPS means sanitary and phyto-sanitary measures. If you break this down, you have sanitary, the idea is something being clean. Phyto relates to plants, so it's like plants being clean. And then finally, measures. What is measures about? It's creating rules and regulations. So if we talk about SPS measures, it's about creating rules and regulations concerning the cleanliness of something, cleanliness of plants and something else. And this is a big part of international trade and the WTO. Countries, governments want to protect each other or their citizens from getting infected from something that they bring in. So for example, we have this apple. Now, do you know where I got this apple from? Maladier? Close. I got it from Negro. But let's imagine that this apple came from Algeria. This apple was exported from Algeria and then imported into Switzerland. Now with this, there's a lot of things that we have to think about. Us in international trade, we understand that this is business, opening markets up. But a big thing that we don't talk about is cleanliness and sanitary issues. How do we protect people? And this is what SPS measures are all about. The governments work together within the WTO to create ways to protect, when importing something, the fruits, vegetables, animal products that we use don't infect or don't contaminate our citizens. It doesn't do bad things to us. And also the environment. And so there's two ways that we can think about this. If we think about directly, when we think of trade, we think about mad cow disease. Let's take this for example. When this is discovered, countries instantly want to block their borders from importing this kind of meat into their country. There was another example of bird flu that happened, and this was the case. But then we also think indirectly. Let's imagine that this apple from Algeria, someone wanted to plant it in Switzerland. Now, what if they used the seeds? Now maybe the seeds, they started to grow, produce an apple tree, but let's say that it started killing the grass all around the tree itself. Well, inside the grass is food and resources for other types of animals. They end up not having a food supply, and then they have to go somewhere else to get food. So we can see that there's a long-term effect that this can have. And this goes in relation to what Giovanni was talking about in technical trades, regulations, technical trades and barriers. So this was a great graph that my colleague Sebastian put up to explain what is SPS measures, like how do we talk about it. When we think of products, we can't just, the one thing I wanted to highlight is that we can't think that it's just the final product that we must look at. We must think of the entire production of a product. And what I wanted to highlight here, these are some things, because time is short, I won't go into it. Testing inspections occur within the exporting country and the importing country. And I wanted to highlight this because I think it's important. We hear in the news countries that get a bad reputation for exporting certain goods that are supposedly bad or do harmful effects to our country, to other countries. Well, it turns out that both sides are responsible. So the importing country as well, they have quarantine measures and ways that they do things, a way that they inspect things coming into their country. So we should never point the finger, I think, in this international kind of realm. Multiple actors, just to explain, everyone's involved in some shape or form when it comes to what we expect. And just to go a little bit more into WTO about what they do concerning SPS measures, is they create what is international standards. So every country must abide by certain rules. And this is done through scientific evidence, which I want to highlight, because what this means is that what countries can consider good, it must be scientifically proven that it's good, meaning that it's healthy and that it won't be bad for the environment. And a few other things that they do is they want to prevent discrimination. So if two countries don't like each other, they have to find a way to, it doesn't matter. I mean, there's no such thing as discrimination in the free trade world, according to WTO. They do analysis, continual analysis, and they have a dispute settlement body. What this is an internal court should a problem happen regarding SPS measures. And this is what takes me to our case study, which is concerning apples. And really quick, when I talk about apples, it's just a quick case study within our professor's book. You have two sides. America has these apples. They think that they're good, and they want to go into Japan, and they want to sell them. Why? Because it's a huge market there. Well, Japan on the other side, rather than just welcoming the apples in, they said, no. They said, hold on. And why did they say this? They said no, we don't want American apples in Japan because they're going to contaminate the apple crops that we have. So our apples, and I've lived in Japan, they're the best in the world I've ever tried. They're the sweetest, and I totally recommend them. You know, if you go there, try it. They wanted to protect them, and this became an issue because they weren't allowing American apples to be sold. So it's a question. So SPS measures becomes a question. Is it about protecting your environment because you're concerned that importing goods can have a bad effect? Or is it maybe like, does it have something to do with trade? What's Japan thinking in their head? If these apples come into our market, there's going to be more competition. And if this is the case, then they, according to WTO rules in fair trade, they don't have this right to do. So America was pissed off. America said, we're going to take this to the dispute body, to the dispute settlement body, the court. And what did they find? Japan was wrong. Japan, their quarantine measures and everything, or their claims that American apples were not good, they couldn't prove it. Scientifically, there was no scientific evidence to say that American apples were bad. And so what happened, Japan ended up having to change something, or else having to what they ended up doing was they ended up paying America lots of money, as you can see, millions of dollars, because it was lost business for America. But as far as are American apples in Japan right now, I'm not sure, because I couldn't find it. I was trying for the past couple days. Really quick, what's going on the news today? Well, we have the same type of issues. There is a plant that comes from Asia and wants to be exported into North American markets. And North America, Canada, America, their states, and Mexico, they have created the North American Plant Protect Organization. And basically, they create a rule saying we can't have this plant because of this bug right here. Because if the plant comes, it's going to bring this bug, the Asian gypsy moth, and that's going to destroy a lot of the trees within the region, the North American region. China, Korea, India, and Japan are pissed off about this. They don't agree with what's going on. And so what do you have? You have a continuation of dialogue, and we'll see if this, as we see the Doha round is going on for many years, and this is part of the reason why. And so countries can, the next meeting for this will be in the summer of 2009. These were some of the references that I used for the presentation, and thank you.
Thank you.